and he scaled freaking Mount Kilimanjaro with no legs, like half an arm and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm over here. Oh, I got these rental houses. I always put things in perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I got this rental houses, and I don't know, is this too much work for me? And I got this job, and I'm like, this freaking dude scaled Mount Kilimanjaro with no legs, and I'm worried about am I putting too much on my plate? And I'm like, it kind of inspired me.
Yeah.
It kind of like, man, I could take on another house. Yeah, it'll be more work. Yeah. I got my wife to help me. I got my buddy Myka to help. I got the whole network of this Airbnb, community and VR, whatever, short-term, long-term community. And I just like, what's wrong? Why am I complaining? I mean, I have nothing to complain about. I don't have nubs. I got legs. See, Myka's laughing. I like to make Myka laugh.
I don't got nubs.
Welcome to Live, Let, Thrive, a podcast about the Airbnb life, the share economy, and everything in between. Here are your hosts, Myka and Steve.
Hello, hello, hello.
And welcome back to another exciting episode
of Live,
Let,
Thrive. Welcome back. I like that you had some punch to it.
Yeah, it's because I got some punch.
I saw that. I saw the needle on the Pro Tools just hop up above the line, So y'all Pro Tools aficionados out there. Yeah, man. This is episode 68 of your favorite Airbnb, VRBO, Turo, screw Turo. Never mind. I'm sure we'll have a Turo guy come on pretty soon. But I've had one experience with Turo. It wasn't my favorite thing in the world, and I've discussed it earlier on in our catalog of episodes. And so I'm off track already. It must be the rum. It's gonna be one of those episodes. No, we talk everything Airbnb, Sharebnb, Steve B&B. We talk arbitrages, long-term rentals, short-term rentals. You know how we do. You know how we roll. So if this is your first time listening to the Live, Let, Thrive, this is what we do. So
yes, sir.
I hope y'all enjoy it, and y'all long time listeners, thank y'all so much for sticking in there, and hardcore fans, y'all are the best.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And man, so last episode was a really good episode with our boy Syed Latif. Syed
Latif. Yeah.
He killed it. Now it's back to me and Steve. So how has your Airbnb world been going, Stevie Stacks?
Airbnb world is doing okay. My little doggy and my little daughter decided to chime in real quick. And what's up? And my daughter, she's now like a superstar, right? She's always been since she's born. But we our HGTV show dropped. Island Life, HGTV episode season 13, episode 1. I've talked about it before.
They have 13 seasons?
They have like 14 seasons now. I don't know how they place these things, but they got like 14 seasons. They got a whole bunch of different episodes. And so anyways, we got some background stuff going on here. And so our TV show finally dropped, and it was really cool. It was cool seeing us on TV, on the big screen, on the TCL TV, and my wife Facebook lived it while it was going on, so like people that didn't have HGTV could watch it. And so everybody was tripping, you're on TV, you're gonna move to South Padre Island and all this stuff, because anybody that's ever done reality TV, it's all scripted. And we love SPI, we love the South Padre, but we might live there part of the year one day eventually. But I'm about making money, And what was my famous quote from the last episode? Don't worry about stars, worry about dollars, or worry about dollars, don't worry about stars.
Yeah. There you go.
And that was like the coolest thing I've ever said in my life.
In the host group, they're gonna be pissed off at us, but we're putting it in there.
So long intro to the show. We're back. We're Live, Let, Thrive, and we're ready to talk some shop here. How you been, Myka?
Man, I've been good, man. Been getting a lot of strange type guests coming in. Had a scare at one of my Airbnbs. I had a almost booking.com nightmare.
Again?
Yeah, man.
I thought you were off of them.
I am, but I didn't know I was still on. So I got it. But after the last episode, talking to Syed, I kind of want to get back on. So, the last so So you just said you don't overcharge for extra guests, right? You don't charge them extra.
I haven't yet. I haven't yet.
I'm thinking about doing it because I had a guest today. I think she's coming tomorrow for the weekend. She sends me this last minute message saying, "Hey, by the way, it's gonna be me, my 2 daughters, and then my husband and his 2 friends that are running a marathon together." I'm like, this place is technically for 2, and I say on the listing it can sleep 4, but it's gonna be tight. She's bringing like 6 people, so I'm like, man, I might have to start charging extra. But she was nice enough to say, "Hey, if you charge extra, we're willing to pay it." And I'm like, oh, I should have made something up. Like, yeah, I charge $40 extra a person, but I didn't do it. But
And where is this listing at?
this is downtown Dallas.
Oh, okay. I get it.
Downtown Dallas. So yeah, I'm thinking about that. I've heard a lot of people in the professional host group, they do charge extra for extra people. So
I'm thinking about it too. And like I said, a long time ago, I heard I was listening to a podcast, and there's a person that was talking about how they don't do it, and they had a good reason. It's like it puts, I think it was Shampoo and Booze that I heard that one on. Okay. And I missed that podcast. That was a good podcast. That's how we learned how to do our thing a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
And so they said something about they didn't like doing that because there's always people trying to skirt the rules to try to save a buck, And so little baby girl, and so there's always people trying to skirt the rules to try to save a buck, and then if you catch them on it, you got your camera set up and you catch them, then you like, hey, you pay for these people, and but they weren't, blah blah blah, and it just makes this animosity, and it kind of like they just didn't like that animosity, so they just charged a little bit more, and they just let people bring as many as they want. But so. Yeah, but I mean, sometimes, when they tell me they're going to bring 8 people, I'm like,
yeah. Now, I have a question. Have you noticed anything like with the differences of how your place is kept for if it was just the 6 or compared to the 8 or no?
They except for the couple times that there's been a party, it's not been a big difference. And I've told them beforehand, hey, y'all got a lot of people coming, and y'all please be sure to take care of the place and clean it up good before y'all leave, because that's a lot of work on the cleaners, And they're like, oh no, don't worry, they're just so happy that I'm allowing like 8 people to stay under one roof, that they've been really good about cleaning. I mean, they've been really good about it. So it's it's a double-edged sword. Of course, you got the party. I've got twice that I've had like turn it in. They've partied there pretty good. Yeah. And out of like 60, 70 bookings. So that's not bad.
Not bad at all.
That's not bad.
So, and I was wondering that, and I was like, and also I noticed, like with my units downtown, I haven't really had much wear and tear parties. Of course, it's a smaller unit, but like I think that if you keep your place simple and just made for the guests, you have a less wear and tear on your stuff. You know what I mean? I think the people that go above and beyond, which I'm not saying always, but I think sometimes they may complain about people messing up their stuff. They have extra decor around, which sometimes isn't needed. Of course, decorated nice, but hopefully these people don't mess up my place. I actually accepted a lady with a service dog, supposedly. She said she had papers for it. And I was like, oh man, I hope this lady doesn't mess up my leather couches up in there. Ugh. But guess what? Everything was fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
Maybe you can like get some like sturdy covers for when people come through like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I tell her, listen, I'll let you with your dog, a service dog. I understand that, but in the closet there's some sofa covers. Could you please just throw them on there, for me? And I'd be so happy. And then blah blah blah. And but yeah, man, it's like it's I mean, you could taking on more guests is always scary. But I mean, like I said, the opposite end of that would be having that animosity there if you do catch them with more than 6 guests instead of 5, and then you bust.
You have
them
to create some sort of animosity,
and then they leave you a bad review or some crap like that.
Straight up.
But yeah, dude. So that was the cool thing that's happened to us lately is the HGTV thing, and I'm sore as hell. My part of the reason I'm sore, well, the main reason I'm sore is because of my cousin at work. You know, we go to lunch together now, and there's a little gym there at work, and he's putting me through some CrossFit exercises, man.
Really?
And the reason I wanted to start him, you know, he's in good shape, and I'm like, man, I saw myself on the HGTV show. I'm a little chunky. This married life's been treating me good. So I've been getting a little chunky, and then you, Mahogany, I watch y'all too. Y'all are hitting the gym every day, and you're kicking butt, and even hey, shout out to Mahogany and her thing. She go Mahogany Fit is what's called.
She's going for her her personal training license. She's on it. Man, she's really awesome. Inspired me too, because I've been hitting the gym 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm up at it, you know.
That's dedication right there.
And the thing I love about it, it gives me so much energy for the rest of the day. My brain just like clicks after I leave the gym, man. I love it.
Sweet. And you know, in reality, and health is the most important thing we got. You know, it's a cliche.
Health is wealth.
It's the only thing we got. Health and wealth. Yeah, you can't be wealthy without being healthy. Well, I mean, I don't know. There's like Donald Trump and stuff. But but anyways, health is the most important thing. That we only get a certain amount of years, you know, and you know, you with all these drugs and medicines, they might be able to extend your life, you know, longer, even if you ain't healthy. But it's about quality of life, right, instead of quantity. And I say that while I'm drinking this yummy rum. So there you go, dude. Yeah, salud to health.
Salud to health.
With some glasses here. So it's a Stephen Myka ep, and you wanted to get into some craziness. You said you wanted to get down.
I had all types of stuff happen these last 2 weeks, dude. So I was thinking to myself, let's say a wild animal attacked one of your people at your Airbnb. And let me tell you why this came across it. And I was wondering, could I be held liable? No, my dad had to kill a copperhead snake, like a pretty big-sized copperhead snake.
Oh, I saw that picture.
Yeah, one of my places. And I was like, oh, dang. And I'm like, I wonder if that would have rolled up on a guest. What would have happened? You know, because, you know, copperheads, they're poisonous. They can kill you.
Yeah.
Especially the baby ones, but this wasn't no baby. This was a full-blown adult. This was a pretty long copperhead. You can go to our pages on Facebook to check it out. I posted it. And I was like, man, I wonder if you could be held liable for that, which I don't think you can, but it would be a good question to ask a lawyer. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. So I was like, man, could you get some insurance for like pest control, or I don't know.
Get a mongoose maybe?
Possibly, whatever you need to do, man. But yeah, I was like, dang. Because my dad and my mom texted me, he's like, yeah, we had to kill a snake at one of your Airbnbs out here. I'm like, what? She sent me a picture. It was like a big copperhead sitting. I was like, oh, shoot.
Yeah, you said you were lucky that someone was there to kill it, because you would have just ran.
Oh, yeah, I would have been gone, man. I don't do snakes, man. I don't do snakes. Forget that. Like, a snake, unless you have a shotgun on you, you can shoot it. Like, but now my dad and my grandma, they're off in the country. They'll straight cut a snake's head off right there. Like, they'll go at a snake. They don't care. Like, I seen like one time we were walking to my aunt's house, a snake just landed on my dad. He threw it on the ground, took it out. Man, I was like, dang, man, you got a pair on you, man. I can't do it. I can't do no snakes. Screaming. Yeah, I'd have been out, man. Like, it ain't too much I'm afraid of, but a snake, I'm out, man. I don't do snakes, dude. I don't do snakes, so
that's a good question, though. Like, what happens if someone dies at your Airbnb?
You know, I was thinking, like, because where it was under the trash can. But, like, the guests aren't over there too much, but still it could slither to the back of my backyard where the guests are, because I do have, like, but they would easily see it because it's all paved back there, but man, it was just something to think about. I'm like, man, that was a poisonous snake sitting out here. But, hey, I guess it's the price of doing business out in the country.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, that. And then my new goal, I want to make $100K a month on Airbnb. That's a new goal of mine.
On Airbnb, the company you have a love-hate relationship with.
Yeah, I want to gross $100K. Well, no. I want to gross $100K from Airbnb, VRBO, and Booking.com, all inclusive. It doesn't have to be on Airbnb. Yeah. I don't really hate them. Well, yeah, I do hate them. Yeah.
But they're putting money into your pocket.
They are. I love them for that. But yeah, we do have a love-hate relationship with Airbnb.
It's kind of like, did you watch The Sopranos back in the day? Did you watch any
Not
of that?
really,
Okay.
but I know what the Sopranos are.
Well, long story short, Tony Soprano, the main guy, the boss,
Yeah.
he had this guy that worked for him. He was the freaking prick, right? I mean, he
Yeah.
was just an a-hole to everybody, this and that. But he was one of the top earners, man. He'd go to these places and get the money and come back with stacks. He just had a gift for it. I guess he knew how to how to convince them to pay. You know what I'm saying? So he couldn't, for the longest time, he didn't fire him or he didn't whack him. He didn't get rid of him.
Yeah.
You know. And until he did some heinous thing, like he burned down this horse barn where they had this horse that he wanted to get the insurance money, and that was Tony's favorite horse. But he just saw, we'll get insurance money this way, and he said, "Yeah, I did it, whatever." And Tony ended up killing him, you know, with his bare hands. It was pretty sweet. But anyways, I just veered off way far. But yeah, I see what you're saying. That Airbnb, you know, is like that guy. He's he's love-hate relationship. You know, he's an a-hole sometimes, but he's your number one money maker.
That's true. That is true. I mean, that's how Airbnb gets you hooked too. They know they're going to be your number one money maker, man. They know it. But two things, more real estate related. I have been on Zillow lately.
Uh-oh.
I've been looking to possibly buy in LA or Plano.
You mean LA as in Los Angeles?
Yeah, Los Angeles, California, man. I've been looking at the
What?
LA.
Yep. LA is expensive. What are you talking about?
I know, but I was thinking, man, if I can get, there's condos out here there for $200K. Now they might be in the hood, but hopefully they're up and coming. But I've seen some condos for $200K.
You might have to walk over a few homeless people to get into your into your front door.
Yeah, we might have to walk over a few homeless people. Make sure we're wearing the right colors, Crips and Bloods out there, you know. So, I mean, I don't know the neighborhood, but I want to check it out. And I was also looking at Plano because, like, all my IT jobs is hopefully I stay at this one because I like it. It's people are cool. It's right here in Arlington, but you never know what happens. I protect myself. If I ever have to go back up there, I want a place up there, just a place in Plano. And yeah, man, I had a question. Do you think the DFW real estate market is starting to slow down?
I think a little bit. Because I'm on Zillow and all those every single day.
Yeah,
and
that's what I want to ask you.
And I'll say it like this: it's still roaring pretty good. But like the people that back in the a few months back or last year that throw like a hunk of junk piece of crap house and got 150 for it easy or 180 for it easy, that ain't happening no more.
Okay.
But there's still, like, if it's a decent house, decent to good, like from 150 to 200, those are pretty much still flying off the shelves, I think.
Okay.
You go a little higher end. I've seen that if you go over these houses, they're putting them like 230, 240, 250, thinking like, oh, I'm gonna get my payday.
Yeah.
I've seen those prices start dropping. If you get over that 200 mark, those houses they're starting to mark down because they're not flying off the shelves. But if you stay under that 200, 150 to 200, those are still pretty strong if they're a decent house.
Okay.
You know, that's what I've noticed from what I've been looking at.
Okay.
I've got a proposition for you too.
Okay.
And since you're saying you're back on the Zillows, I found one. I don't want to say it on here. People are gonna steal the idea.
You don't have to tell what it is, but what does it look?
Okay, check it out. It sounds funny. They want 115 for it. I think they'll go down a little bit because you know where. Okay, whatever. You want to put it. I won't say where it is,
Yeah.
but it's set up like this. It's on this piece of land, and it's a 2-bedroom, 1-bath house. And it's close to a certain hospital district. I won't say which one.
Okay.
And whoever did it did a real good job of redoing it. It's a nice little boutique house, real cute,
Okay.
2-bedroom, 1-bath. And in the back, there's another building that's set up. It could be another house.
Ooh.
So you can get like 2 for 1 for 115 grand. Of course, I think we could talk them down a little bit, whatever. But I think that would be perfect for the traveling nurses coming through. It's a really cute little property.
What city is it? I want to say.
Well, I'm gonna give it away. It's Fort Worth, and I know you said it's against. Well, what does it know? That would be long term. Traveling nurses is long term.
Fort Worth, they don't care. It's banned, but they ain't enforcing nothing. I mean, you can look at Fort Worth. There's 1,000 Airbnbs over there. So, I mean, it's in Fort Worth. I get a bunch of hits for JPS Hospital.
Yeah, me too. JPS.
I see what you're getting at here.
So
how big is the
I'll
place
show you
in the back?
I'll show you the thing. It's what is it about? I don't know, 600 square foot. You know,
600 square feet.
Yeah, something like look like a mother-in-law house kind of thing.
If you put 2 tenants in there, you might be good to go. Yeah, let me know. Let me see. Send it to me in the morning. Send it to me. We'll
and what I've noticed with the Furnished Finder, you know, and for y'all out there don't know what Furnished Finder is, it's a place where, you know, traveling nurses, a website they go to look at to find spots around the country when they're, you know, traveling, they can rent a place. And so what I've noticed about Furnished Finder is I get these alerts too, and mostly it's one person or two people that come through. Mm-hmm. So I mean I have that big 3-bedroom house, and I'm like, but and I've you know, sent when I first got on there, I'd sent it to these people. I was like, yeah, this is my house. It's a little too big for us. We don't need that much. We just need maybe 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. Mm-hmm. And so, but so if we go into the, and you know, and once we go down, that's what I've noticed to the 2-bedroom, 1 bath range of houses, those don't move as fast because people want at least 3-bedroom, 2 bath, right? 3-2 is the
3-2-2, yeah.
3-2 or 3-1.5 or 3-3-1, but 2-bedroom, 1 bath, those aren't flying off the shelves, and you get them for a big discount. So it might even be it might be perfect for traveling nurses, you know what I'm saying, or Airbnbers rolling through. It might be perfect.
I think it would be too. I think it'd be cash flow perfect. Mm-hmm. But what about on the other end? Like, you think the market's still going to be growing where you could get off of it if you don't need it anymore?
If we get it at a low enough price point, I was thinking renting the long term. I think I can probably get $1,000 or $1,100 a month for it if we just rented it as a long term, which that would hit the 1% rule, and that's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad.
As long as it's the 1%.
Yeah. So it's just a food for thought.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
I'll show it to you.
Definitely eating the food right now. Okay. I'm definitely. It looks like you put some hard-earned work into thinking of that. Okay.
I was thinking about it, and I thought about travel nurses. So you're looking at getting some equity going on, are you?
Yeah. Whenever I look at long-term and equity. You know, because I eventually want my money back. But yeah, man, that definitely sounds like something to look into. But yeah, I'm back on the corporate world, and one thing I noticed, I was telling you earlier, I'm like, man, being in the corporate world, it's easier now. Because I think it's because Airbnb is now passive for me. And I was thinking today, I'm like, because I'm in those Dave Ramsey groups, but I like some of the ideas they pitch, like especially about side hustles. But I noticed most of them want to work for their side hustle. And I'm like, man, I've noticed, I think being back in the corporate world is easier for me is because my side hustle is now passive income. And I think that's what real estate's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a passive income side hustle, you know?
Right.
And I feel like that's why I'm more comfortable in the corporate world. So I'm like Syed last episode, he's like, man, I'm working till 3 o'clock in the morning. I got to get my cleaning crew. I'm like, man, I know what you mean. Because I was like, man, I went through those headaches too, you know? So I think all side hustles that you do should all be passive. If you can make it passive, like if you're doing Turo or Uber, find a way to Uber and make it passive. See if you can hire people out. See what you can do. You know, put 15 Uber cars and Turo cars out there. You know, so that's what I'm starting to feel like. I think you need to focus on making passive income. You know? Right. Still work for something, but you know.
Yeah.
That was one huge thing I've been noticing. I'm like, man, that really helps you if you have passive income.
That's good. I'm glad you made it passive. I remember when we first started this podcast, man. I mean, we'd be talking we'd be talking about whatever, and you'd be on that phone constantly, ding, ding, just laughing away, getting all that money. And I'm like, man, but I think it made me into a better podcaster because I had like, all right, he's in the phone mode sometimes. I gotta carry this show, man. My back's hurting a little bit from carrying Myka. But now you don't even look at that thing, and that's like, it's cool, man. Yeah. And we're back at it. Something I saw this morning, and I went to like, I work whatever. I work at whatever. And I went to deliver this part at this other spot at this work at my job, and they had the TV going, and they had like the Today Show or some shit, and so they had this dude on there who's like. Who lost his legs and like half his arm and like an IED in Iraq, years back, and But he went through it showed him going through all this therapy, all this, everything that he did, and he's now he does like Olympic, Paralympic sports and stuff like that. When the sit down, the lay down bicycles, and does these marathons, and so he always wanted to scale Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. And that was like his dream of his. And they showed him, they put these like stilts on his legs, right? And on his nubs, no offense. And so, and he has guys, has guys, guides walking with him up this mountain. I'm sorry, man. We keep it real on this show. He knows what he has. And he scaled freaking Mount Kilimanjaro with no legs, like half an arm and shit. Yeah. And I'm over here. Oh, I got these rental houses. I started, I always put things in perspective. Mm-hmm. I got this rental houses, and I don't know, is this too much work for me? And I got this job, and I was like, this freaking dude scaled Mount Kilimanjaro with no legs, and I'm worried about, am I putting too much on my plate? And I'm like, it kind of inspired me. Yeah. It kind of like, man, I could take on another house. Yeah, it'll be more work. Yeah. I got my wife to help me. I got my buddy Myka to help. I got the whole network of this Airbnb, community and VR, whatever, short-term, long-term community. And I just like, what's wrong? Why am I complaining? I mean, I have nothing to complain about. I don't have nubs. I got legs. See, Myka's laughing. I like to make Myka laugh.
I don't got nubs.
But I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just saying I got the full use, and every time I see something like that, someone that's like doing these amazing things, and climbing Everest, and just blind like 70-year-old lady climbed Everest, wow. And like and I'm like, what do they say? We have endless power in us. Yep. Endless, like, what's that guy, that motivational dude, Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins, yeah. Endless power on whatever. And we can do anything. I mean, there's people that are so like, like I said, are missing limbs or missing this or can't see or deaf or doing these like amazing things because they're like, I ain't gonna let that shit stop me. Yeah. And then that motivates me big time, man. Yeah. I mean, I can do so much more. Yeah. And it inspired me. I'm gonna do so much more this year. I'm not just gonna I just could do enough and just chill out. No. I'm gonna flex that hustle muscle. Why not?
Straight up.
I'm still relatively young. I can still do it now.
You hit why not? The Russell Westbrook movement. Why not? There you go, man.
And then every ounce of sweat, you put into it right now, every rep you do, all that stuff right now is going to pay off when you're older. And then you can be like smooth sailing big time. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely, man. Definitely. Man, I mean, stuff like that truly is what makes you go. Like, this is what I love about this podcast. This episode, last episode, we talk to people that truly can inspire you, sharing ideas. And I hope some of the listeners are grabbing some ideas and running with them. Grab you and go grab an arbitrage, just see how it is. Don't be afraid to do it. You might fail, but hey, it's not even failing. It's learning, You
learn more from failures.
Straight up. That's really what it is, man. So, I mean, I remember when Michael Jordan he was giving a speech about, they were talking about all his accomplishments, and this dude literally brought up every single shot he missed. He goes, all those shots I missed made me better. I was like, dang, man, he's not talking about the 6 rings. He's talking about the thousands of shots he missed, but that's really what you focus on because those are your learning experiences, man. And yeah, you look at someone, hey, he has no legs, but he's still giving it all he's got. Sometimes we take the smallest things for granted, if you have your health, if you're making a business, because that's one thing that's held me back. Sometimes you lose confidence on making it grow. You can't lose that confidence. Keep going, man. Straight up. That's what Tony Robbins is sometimes good for. He'll build you up some confidence, You just got to act on it.
That's the main thing,
Straight up.
You see these thousands of people dancing in the crowd and stuff like that, and they go home, they don't do nothing.
You know what? I was listening to this podcast. I listen to Colin Cowherd every day. Uh-huh. And he was talking about Tony Robbins. He goes, yeah, man, Tony Robbins is great. But there's one key factor Tony Robbins where most of his people mess up at. He goes, they're so dependent upon Tony Robbins. Yeah, he'll come in a room, you'll do jumping jacks, do some push-ups, he'll have you all hyped up. But when you go home, you get on that couch, you start eating pizza, you realize Tony Robbins ain't here no more. You got to do it yourself. So he's like, yeah, you're sitting there and ain't no Tony Robbins. He goes, that's where he makes his money, man. I was like, wow, I never thought about it like that. He goes, man, you got to be self-motivated. He goes, some people who need that motivation, Tony Robbins ain't there. Hey, you're going to sit on that couch and eat that pizza. So, yeah, you got to have that self-motivation too. That's why I say when you listen to a podcast, use it and let it motivate you and act upon motivation. Because I know as soon as I go home, after listening to that last episode, I'm changing my minimum night stays on 20 days out listening to Syed. So act upon it, man. Act upon it. That's straight. That's real, man.
And the cool thing I read the other day, you get Bigger Pockets emails, right?
Yeah.
And this lady put on there, and of course it was really really clickbait, right?
Clickbait,
I mean,
yeah.
It seemed like clickbait. I was like, he goes, how I accumulated 70 units without a job and being a mom with 2 kids. And I was like, whoa, let me read this. And so I read it, and it was, of course, there's always a catch kind of thing. She did work in a corporate world. Her husband's still in a corporate world, so I'm sure that helped out. I'm sure they in Silicon Valley, so I'm sure she piled up some cash first before she did this, And the husband's still working. I'm sure he had some cash to help out. But she made some really good points, and she said, and it's not easy, especially if you have kids. You're a mom. It's hard. You got to put so much attention and focus to these kids. And she noticed the thing that she wanted to learn real estate, and she wanted to read these books and stuff like that. But she noted, she has these little toddlers running around. When she sits down and reads a book, they want to grab the book from her and stuff like that. It made it hard. But she found a way to accumulate the knowledge anyway. She signed up for some audio book thing where she could read all the books. She could put the headphones in, go for a walk on the stroller, and get her knowledge that way. Mm-hmm. And it seems like a simple thing, but it's like, people, I can't do it. I can't do it with these kids. I can't do it, But she figured out a way to do it. I'm gonna go on my walks. She getting exercise. She's learning with the audiobooks, and she started doing it. And started with a unit, did a couple units, just accumulated, just kept going. And it's just like it's like they say, don't ask why can't you, and ask how can I, right?
There you go.
And she figured it out. And that's just that little nugget right there helped me. I was like, oh, that's cool, Mm-hmm. Instead of saying, man, I'm beat down from work every day. I'm this and this and this. And when can I do whatever? Oh, shit, I can take a lunch break every other day, and do it on my lunch break or before work. And what I've discovered, what's really cool, is I would do my workouts on my lunch break. So I was like, well, I don't want to miss my workouts now, and so I'll wake up at 4 a.m. We usually woke up around 4:30, right? Because I have to be at work at 6. But I wake up at 4 a.m. because no one's awake at that hour. And it's quiet in the house. Baby's asleep, mama's asleep, dog's asleep. So I go to my little office area I got here, and then I knocked out that podcast the other day. I finally sat down and knocked it out and uploaded it. And then I just come in here, reflect, do some notes, start planning my day, and that helps out tremendously. Just having that one quiet time, because if I try to do it, well, I'll stay up late and do it. Or my daughter's, wants jumping on me, wants to play, and it's just hard to do. But that 4 a.m., I found like a little bit of a window there.
Yeah.
And that 1 hour, that 4 to 5, that really helps out a lot, man. 1 hour a day, doing all the stuff and planning out the business. Yeah, there's always a way. So find your 1 hour, or find your half hour a day that you can do this, that you have, all to yourself, because we need that alone time. We need that self time. It's really important.
Straight up, that's true, man. Like, cause I know me, when I get up early in the morning and I hit the gym, man, that's like, it's therapeutic for me, man. Like, my brain's working. It gives me, then I can start creating ideas. Like, hey, I can do this, I can do that. Like these last 2 podcasts have really hit home for me to, focus on growing my business, things like that. But yeah, if you can find that time to do it, which you have time, it's just, are you willing to sacrifice whatever it is that you're doing to make that time, So yeah, man, I'm definitely with you on that. So you said you are accepting guests from BDC Booking.com, right?
Well, I had my last one, which was like a few days ago, and it worked out smoothly, and everything went well, and they left the house spotless. And so I was like, man, I turned it back on. And now I'm back to accepting. The thing is, what I'm doing, I'm especially vigilant about, because they don't. Remember, I got the double bookings twice. I got the double bookings.
Okay.
Cheekies, come here.
No, I just know what it was. I was like, what's something?
And so anyways, soon as is advice for all you people out there, all you fans out there. You people.
LL Tears.
What do you mean by you people? Back to Ross Perot back in the day. You were probably too little to remember Ross Perot.
Yeah, but, for my time.
Hey, mama. And so booking.com, they don't always update the calendars from your other site. You can link them. And I've done that. I've linked them. But they're a little slow on the updating thing. So the double bookings I got was pretty like within an hour or whatever, within a few minutes. And so what you got to do, as soon as you get that other booking from whoever, VRBO or Airbnb, you better tell yourself, hop on booking.com and block those dates out. Just to be safe.
She ain't got time for that.
Just to be safe. And see, but Syed says he doesn't even log in there. He runs it all through that, what's it called?
Easy.
VR Easy. And so if there's, I'm gonna look into that VR Easy big time, because if it's possible that they run it all and they update all this stuff for him, that's a game changer for me. Because for me, for you it's a lot more difficult. You got like 100 listings or whatever, but for me I got the one, so it's not so bad. Yeah. So as soon as I get a booking, I just go in there and update it myself, whatever. But as I grow, I'm gonna need something like VR Easy.
See, I had some more sketchy guests show up today from BDC, from Booking.com. Like, they were, okay, so this lady pulls up in my driveway. First off, that's a no-go. That's the number one rule, don't park in my damn driveway. And she pulls up, she has like, it's her and 4 kids, right?
Right.
First off, my private rooms are for 2 people. So she pulls up, and Mahogany comes. Because I can see him on my. I put cameras all around my house now.
Yeah.
And so I guess she's like smoking a cigarette, windows all up, 4 kids in the back.
Oh no.
And my wife's like, "Can I help you?" She's like, "Oh, we booked through Booking.com. We just don't have any instructions to get in the house." And my wife told her, she's like, "We only have rooms for 2." And then the lady starts small conversation. She's like, "Oh yeah, I work for I'm in social work." My wife's like, "Yeah, me too." And she's like, "What do you do?" Mahogany's like, "Yeah, I work for Child Protective Services."
Oh,
the woman takes her cigarette and throws it out the window.
She threw it out the window?
Yeah, because she's like smoking with all the windows up and these kids in the back. So I guess she had figured Mahogany was just looking like, what? But they ended up canceling the booking or whatever. But that's my only thing. But the book dates were open. I probably would have let them stay, but they don't have. That's my thing about Booking.com. They don't have the rules. They don't have. It seems like nothing's communicated to them. So I don't know.
They're used to dealing with hotels, man.
Yeah.
But Kim and Ann, they swear by Booking.com.
They make a
killing off of it. So this I'm trying to find it right while we were talking. This guy contacted me through the Art House Hearst that's the rum talking. Art House Hearst. That's hard to say. I never realized how hard it Art House Hearst. Well, it's hard to say when you got a good buzz going on. But he hit me up, and he called me the other day, and I'm trying to find it right now. So if you want to fill time, feel free. Oh, here we go. Messages. I can get it right now. Okay. This guy, he's a fan of the show. Okay. He said, okay, I'll go ahead and read. I asked him if he wanted to be on the show. And he said, well, I'd love to, but I gotta do a bunch of stuff first. And so he hit me up. I got a phone call out of the blue. I was at work. I was actually real busy, and I got a phone call. Hey, I was just seeing if Art House Hearst is available to blah blah blah. And I'm like, it's booked up tonight. I'm sorry about And he said, oh, okay, thanks, man. And he hung up, and I was like, that was weird. That must be from my Craigslist listing from a long time ago. I used to get phone calls from it, but it's like. Then I thought about it. Man, that was a long time ago. That thing's already gone. Yeah. And so his name is Cargo Krivik's World Traveling Munchkin. That's what he put on his thing. That's what his name is. But and I looked at it, and I got a message. I was like, hey, he goes, hey, I just called. I bought a Maserati in Florida and was heading home to Vegas with it and was trying to think who I knew in the middle of Texas. And then I remembered you guys from your show. Thought it would be neat. I had so much to tell you, but maybe another time. And this is his name, Kaya Krivix. Okay, whatever. Okay, I said, oh yeah, I didn't know you were a fan of the show. You know, just telling him, oh, thanks, nice to meet you, blah blah blah. And he says Cliff Notes. You know, I think he's cool with me reading all this. Whatever, he's a fan. He's like, so Cliff Notes. I'm a Las Vegas, Detroit, and former Chicago host. And I had this hipster guest who kept insisting I need to get into these podcasts because he felt like I really needed to get into meditation. And I'm like, what the blank is a podcast? So weeks later, little old lady that's working for me and living in a rental B&B doesn't pay rent. Finds my debit card, empties the account, and bails. I get the eviction notice and have to drop what I'm doing and dash across the country to sell whatever I can and pack up my statement beds and truck and what's left over or too nice to Craigslist and truck it across the country where I had a good 3-day drive to binge and listen to the entire Live, Let, Thrive catalog. And I've always wanted to tell you guys that what happened to me. I was doing $200K a year, Airbnb 4 units and a 6-unit complex. I built in my 20s till recently when evil Rahm Emanuel made Airbnb legal in the city. But shortly before that happened, I had an Airbnb guest book my largest 4-bedroom condo for just himself. Red flag, but from time to time, I guess it happens. And I still don't know how this was possible. In the morning, his name changes in the Airbnb without notifying me. Then I get a notification, and the new name cancels. So this cancellation that wasn't discussed and came as a complete surprise erased the reservation from the calendar. Then cleaning calls, followed by the time-stamped photos. Most of the furniture is broken. The dishes were stolen. There's gang signs and graffiti painted on the walls, windows, and ceiling. Drugs and empty liquor bottles throughout, and a baby sock on the floor in the living room. Airbnb. Let me see how much more I got. Okay. Am I doing good? Am I all right? Am I cool? Or are we gonna cut it short?
Go. What happened at the end?
Okay, Airbnb's $1 million insurance policy is non-existent. They ghost me and won't return any of my emails or calls for almost 2 months till I finally got their attention by filing a lawsuit for a lousy $30,000 in damages, not inclusive of 10 or so guest groups who had Airbnb cancel their reservations at a very last minute despite my urgings and exhaustive attempts to make Airbnb customer service rebook them after this wreckage occurred that Airbnb tries to just pretend didn't happen at all and won't address. Then those guests, justifiably angry, leave me scathing reviews for the cancellation of their vacation, and I lose $15,000 a month rental income for 4 months, and it forces me to sell the whole $1 million complex. So I had been wanting to tell you about this for a while. I also thank you guys because you put a lot of great information out there, and I thought about a lot of things from listening that helped me weather that. Like other ways to keep going, VRBO, Furnish Finder, etc. And so, I interacted with him a little bit after that story. I was like, wow, I got to get him on the show. I read his whole story, but that's just crazy, Yeah. He got screwed over so many times from Friday, you know what I'm saying?
That's how Airbnb is, man. They're going to always side with the guest. So you have to accept that. Once you accept that, you just Airbnb at your own risk. That's seriously what it comes down to. That's what I've accepted about Airbnb. Like a guy said in the professional host group, there's nothing. Airbnb isn't anything but a payment processing center, and they have to side with the guests because they're the one putting the money up.
That makes sense.
Yeah, So It is what it is with Airbnb, man.
I thought about you today because a buddy or someone at work was talking about Airbnb. Oh yeah, I hear Airbnb's like doing a really good thing by opening up the doors to the people that are leaving the hurricane right now, and that's pretty cool. And I was like, and I just thought of you right away. I was like, and I told him, first of all, they ain't Airbnb's doors.
Yeah, for real.
Those are our houses. Like, we're letting people stay for free, and they're taking all the credit for it.
Matter of fact, Airbnb needs to pay for those places. That's what Airbnb needs.
See,
to do.
that they can brag on that if they paid us, and then put these people in our places. That would be no.
So you know what?
Be something.
Hosts don't have Airbnb. Hosts need to use their voice, but it's too many hosts out there that are pro Airbnb. Like, they'll screw over 1,000 hosts, but there's always that group of 10 hosts. Oh, Airbnb's the best. They said this. They said that. They won't mess us over. I'm like, oh, my God. like this one guy, when I was talking about, matter of fact, I wanted to talk about this. I said, the guy who put a bad card on file, and he admitted to doing it. He was like, he goes, I didn't mean that. I didn't think that would get booked. That's not even the right card. He literally wrote this in a message, and I posted it in the Airbnb professional host group, and this guy's like, and I told him, hey, I didn't even respond. I was like, I'm going to let him talk to Airbnb, let them handle it. They'll give him his money back. He goes, oh, look at you. Now you're giving him a bad Airbnb experience by not giving him his money back. I'm like, it's hosts like this that are the reason why Airbnb's customer service will always suck. Because people like this guy, he's pro Airbnb. He'll let guests. I get guests have probably thrown parties at his house, had orgies, everything else, and he's sitting there. Well, I'm an Airbnb host, and I'm like, man, it's people like that. That's the reason why Airbnb keeps going. Like, the ones who'll let guests screw over them.
Right.
It's just ridiculous, but It is what it is.
It is what it is. And another thing that recently happened, and you've seen it, and because you're on the Arlington Airbnb rental or short-term rental alliance, you're on that that page, and you saw one of the ladies from the alliance. She put on there, oh please, let's help Grapevine with their paying for their lawyer to help fight these people in the whatever, the government that are trying to, that have put the ban on Airbnbs. If you can send money, you can send credit, you can send. I was like, okay. And she got like maybe 2 likes and then 1 comment. Oh, and the comment was from the Grapevine lady. Oh, thank you for helping us, blah 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 blah. But everything else was crickets, right? And I see for y'all, we put it out there. Hey, Live Let Thrive puts it out there. We don't give a damn. We don't give a damn, right? We don't give a damn. They know who we are, whatever. And so, Grapevine is a very affluent city here in the DFW area, right by the airport. I mean, houses are expensive. You can buy a shack for like $300,000. It's just stupid expensive over there. And what these rich people did, which is very stupid, which they book a lot of bookings through VRBO, and VRBO pays you the money right away. And so I guess these rich people did, they spent all that money, and it depends.
I know what you're talking about.
They spent all that money, and they said, well, now they banned Airbnb, and we got to reimburse the guests, so we don't have the money, and we're gonna have to file for bankruptcy. And I kind of like, how stupid is that? How is it? And then I thought, how is that my problem? And how am I sending money to pay for your legal fight in another way? And would Grapevine have done that for freaking Arlington? I just thought of that. Would these rich people in Grapevine have done that for us? And anyways, I just kind of like, these rich people are asking us to help send us some
you should have
money
voiced your opinion. I would have got the popcorn and watched. I mean, I don't know. Like,
and I looked at one of the ladies' website or our Facebook page, because she's putting on there, please help us fight the fight, blah blah. Thank you for asking for money for us, and then I looked at her Facebook page. She's over here vacationing in Rome, in Greece, in Italy, and I'm like, okay, I see where you spent that Airbnb money already, and now you're putting your hat out. Please help us pay for our lawyer. And I just, I'm putting it out there. I got a little drink in me. I'm putting it out there, and then what you brought up a damn good point. Because what if there's like these sites are like infiltrated with people that are trying to find out who's Airbnb and stuff, and say, please put your name and phone number here so we can reach out to you. And I'm like, it's a tightrope we walk, right?
Yeah.
We want to help, we want to show up at the meetings and fight the fight, whatever, and help it where they don't ban Airbnb, but at the same time, we don't want to say, hey, look at me, this is where I live. Come shut my Airbnb down.
If you're leading the charge, man, you're putting the target on yourself. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm all for it. It's just, I have a question. Which city do you think has more money, Fort Worth or Arlington?
Who has? Well, I would think Fort Worth. Just thinking like real quick, I would think Fort Worth has more money. Am I wrong?
I'm with you. I would think Fort Worth too.
Yeah.
So therefore, I would think Fort Worth can back Airbnb regulations. Mm-hmm. They can't.
They can't. No.
So do you really think they're gonna do it in Arlington, Texas? I mean, I will say, Arlington has some money being thrown at it because you got Texas Live.
Oh, yeah.
The new Ranger Stadium,
yeah.
The new sports complex, the new E3 gaming complex. So we ain't gonna lie, Arlington's getting some money from somewhere. I don't know, but from somewhere. They're getting some money. It may be Jerry Jones, got some extra money from the stadium he's throwing at it. But,
JJ.
But I have noticed Arlington's starting to look a lot like Frisco. So I don't know. Do they have the power or the resources to enforce whatever they put out there? Because that's what I tell all people. I agree. Fight it. But look at the city as a totality and really look at it and be like, do these people really have the ability to enforce short-term rental regulations?
Now, Grapevine's small. I could see them enforcing it over there, right?
Look at those hotels over there. Yeah, Grapevine can enforce it. Like, that's why.
They got big money.
Like you said, you said you look at the economics around Grapevine. Great Wolf Lodge, the Gaylord's over there too, right?
The Gaylord, yeah, it's huge, man, massive.
You got too much hotel money running through Grapevine.
Right.
So I could see Grapevine saying, "Oh no, we're not doing this. You can't come over here with that crap."
Now here's a real quick. You mentioned that the Gaylord. It's a big, massive hotel over there. owned by whatever billionaire, and so we have freaking games here in Arlington, right? Mm-hmm. We have
that's where people stay.
College football, yeah. And the college, like one of the college football teams always stays at the freaking Gaylord, which is in Grapevine.
Yeah.
And another one stays in Dallas, or however they split them up. Or Fort Worth gets one, Dallas. What the freak is Arlington getting? Why don't
I've noticed a change in that though?
Is that starting to change?
It's starting to change.
Okay.
It's starting to change because of Airbnb.
Well, I'm talking about the teams themselves, like the football teams. They'll put them up at the Gaylord, or they'll put one of the football teams. I'm talking about the football teams.
Oh, never mind.
And they'll put them up in Dallas. They'll put them up at a nice place in Dallas, a nice hotel in Dallas, and they'll put one at the freaking
Arlington
Gaylord.
Ain't got no hotel. That's why they're bringing Texas Live here. That's a huge hotel they're building behind it.
Okay, that's what I'm saying.
That's what he's trying to do.
Okay, that's why they're putting the squash.
So my thing is, even with that coming, do you think now Arlington may be building up to where they can enforce regulations? Now, because I started looking, because I work right across the street from the Cowboy Stadium and all that, and I'm starting looking around over there. I'm like, Arlington may be onto something, building up all this stuff. They may be onto something. I think they're getting to a point, because if you look at North Arlington, all of it's been gentrified. They tore down the ghetto, the little hood spot over there. They tore that down. They built high-rise condos over there.
Yeah, been condos over there by the Whole Foods. And
stuff. I was like, dang, Lamar ain't Lamar no more. Lamar turned into Billy real quick. For real, man. Straight up, man. I was looking like, dang. But I mean, I think that's going to drive a lot of people in,
Yeah.
So, I mean, and people that are, like, for example, this is actually one thing I was going to talk about. So Hawaii just literally told Airbnb, like they went straight to Airbnb and they said they're demanding the names, addresses, and social security numbers of the people that are hosting in Hawaii. And if they have not paid taxes, they're coming down on them.
Wow.
So
I wonder what their taxes are over there. They don't have as high property taxes.
Hawaii?
But I don't know what their hotel
hotel market's crazy.
Is it crazy?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know what their hotel taxes are.
The taxes, I don't know.
That Chicago one blew me out of the water. 24%.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Holy
that is ridiculous.
They want a fourth of your money.
Yeah, that's crazy.
A fourth. Over here, we were like, man, 7%. That's a hard hit, bro.
Went up to 17 now.
Here in Arlington?
Yeah.
17%?
Is
that total? Okay, so that's total. But he just said Chicago's city tax
that's ridiculous.
was 24. So the city's taking a fourth of your money
that's crazy.
Right off the bat. And the state, I don't know he didn't say what the state one was.
And this is the problem most people don't do is you have to, I calculate all that. I calculate city tax, beyond pricing tax, Airbnb tax. So if you add 24%, let's just say you're using an automatic pricing tool at 1%, that's 25%. Airbnb, 28%. That percent starts to go up real quick.
Yeah.
So let's just say you're using Guesty, that's 30% of your profit out the window.
Yeah, 30%. Beyond pricing another one, that's 1%. But
1%.
still, it adds up. Every
Yeah.
single one.
It does.
And then you think about it, maybe it's better as a long-term rental. Sometimes.
Well, I don't know.
Sometimes.
You have to calculate that 30%. Is that 30%? Is that 70% more than your long-term?
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know, man. But it's other ways. Like, I like the way Syed said it. He said, hey, I'm looking at other ways to make money. I mean, I would always suggest put your place on Google. Put your place on Google. If you have Art House Hearst, put it on Google.
And of course, everybody's fear is, what if someone, books it not through the app, and then what protections do I have? That's always a fear. Just someone through Craigslist or Google or whatever.
I just had to cancel somebody on HomeAway due to a double booking. But it's a HomeAway. I didn't really care. Yeah, so I mean, I understand it.
Yeah, HomeAway, they don't have the reviews. I mean, they have the reviews process, but it's not like a real good one. You know,
it ain't they're not like Airbnbs.
I still haven't got one review from HomeAway.
Yeah,
I've had like maybe 15, 20, I don't know, something like that.
Yeah,
I still haven't had one review from them. Booking.com, I've got a couple. I've got like 2, but not HomeAway. That's weird.
Oh man, this lady. I was on Bigger Pockets today, and I was like, man, it reminded me of why I love corporate housing and short-term housing so much. So this lady bought a house, right? Well, she's buying a house. She has it under contract. And she's going to inherit tenants. She Googled the tenants, and the tenant is a repeated sex offender. And I was like, oh. And she asked for help, and I didn't know what to say to that. Like, one guy was like, man, you might want to get a lawyer. He said, get a lawyer. Tell whoever you're buying the house from, hey, if he stays, you get a huge discount off the price of the house. It's like, yeah, that's a good idea, But I was like, man, that's why I love corporate housing, man. I do not want to inherit tenants or any crap like that. That was bad.
That's bad. That's terrible, man.
Yeah, real bad.
Repeated sex offender.
Yeah, I'm like, damn.
Oh, the stuff we go through, but man, you gotta just power through it, right?
Yeah, I guess, man. The Cosby inherited. Let me stop. Too soon. Too soon. All right.
You bring a Cosby into
Let me
this?
stop.
Oh, let's go there. Come on. What are you scared of?
Nah.
See, that's what I brought up in the other episode, right? I was like, people that listen to the show, and I was kind of bummed out about the 2-star review we got on the iTunes, and I was like, but I'm just bummed out for a second, and then I was like, you know what? I was like they could have jumped in on an episode where we were just BSing back and forth, sipping on some rum and just talking about the trials and tribulations of Airbnb and or of whatever short term or life in general. We just do that. We go off, there's no strict structure to this show. Yeah, and I don't know why. I mean, I guess I listen to our show, so but I was like, I don't know why people like it, but then a lot of people say, "Man, we really dig your show." It's been helping us out a lot, and I'm like, that feels good. That feels good. We go to the meetups, and they're like, "Oh, you're Steve from the show." Oh, okay, yeah, man, we like it. Blah blah blah. That's cool, man. And it's Myka. They know you because you host the meetups and stuff like that. But I just like to sit back in the corner and just, kind of chill at the meetups. And you're like shaking, you're like big handing everybody. You're all moving spots, and and I just like to like hang out. Maybe I talk to one or two people, and I'm good. But you're all over the map. You're high energy. You're Myka.
Did you see how drunk that dude was?
Which one?
Man, my guy got pretty drunk, man. I was like, yo, I didn't know how the dude was going to make it.
Which one was that?
There's a guy at the end of the table. He's pretty big in real estate. He like sold he pretty much had a bunch of condos out in California.
Oh, that guy. He was all getting crazy.
He was lit, man. He was lit. But that was my second time hanging out with him. He gets lit every time I hang out with him. And he's like, he always offers me stuff. He's like, hey, man, I got to get with you and your wife so you guys can teach me. I'm like, all right, man, if you buy the drink, sure. He sold like, he was one of those guys. Because I told you I had a coworker who sold a few houses in California and moved to Texas. He was one of those.
Oh, okay.
So he pretty much had a few houses, like a condo out in California. He sold them for a few mil, and he just moved here. And he just, of course, a condo that's worth $1 million out in Cali, you can get a house that's $300,000. Yeah, a mansion down here for $300K. So yeah, man, it was crazy, dude. So it was pretty funny, man. That was a good meetup, though. I met a lot of good people. A lot of people that are trying to do what we're doing. A lot of people that are already doing it. One thing I do tell listeners, man, create a meetup. You'll be surprised at who you'll meet in your own backyard. I'm telling you.
And you know what's cool about this? One thing that really touches me is like, not that sex offender dude, but what really, I get stupid sometimes, you know this. What really touches my heart, and it's that, like, okay, the media, the freaking politicians, and all this stuff talking about, we need to help the minorities, we need to help the women get ahead, and then the Me Too's, and they got all this stuff, trying to help us and whatever, or help, minorities, women, and they're saying all this stuff, and I'm like, whatever you think about all that, we go to our meetups,
mm-hmm.
and the people that hit us up, a lot of it's from minorities, and a lot of it is from women,
mm-hmm.
women and minorities, and I'm like, wow, that's freaking cool. A lot of people, oh, please help me, Mr. Government. I don't know if that exists. I know whatever, but I'm like, there's people out there that the media doesn't show. They put our faces on, they put our the faces on the TV. All you see is like I've gone over this before. All you see is criminals. All you see is this and that. All you, please help me, government. This. But there's real hustlers in our community that they don't freaking show on TV, man. We're out there, us minorities, we're out there hustling, we're out there trying to achieve, we're out there accomplishing stuff, man. And the people at our meetups is like a real mixed bag,
Yeah.
And I think that really touched on me. Man, we're helping that movement that they don't show on TV, they don't show on the whatever. Yeah. And I think
that was a huge meetup.
That's really cool.
That was the biggest meetup I think we ever had. Like, we blocked off a whole section of a Boston's Pizza. It was pretty crazy. I was like, dang, this many people really came. But it's crazy. Me and Josh were just talking about this. I said, man, people really, and this is human nature, people don't follow you. If you're talking about building a house, nobody's going to pitch in a brick and help you build it. But if they see you with a hammer, brick, everything else, and you start building that house and you get it halfway built, they're going to start staring. They're going to put their hands in they might take their hands out their pockets and be like, hold on, he's on to something. But when you build the house and it's completed, you got your systems in place, your business is running, they're going to start following you. They're like, okay, this dude knows what he's doing. That's just human nature. So when people start listening to us, we're doing all this, that's why they do it. It's the, my man Tariq Nasheed calls it the 300 movement. He goes, all you need is a small group of 300 and it'll make a difference. He goes, don't sit there and be trying to preach to the choir and preach to everyone. Just do what you're going to do. People will naturally fall in line.
That's deep.
It is, man. People will naturally fall in line. I noticed that. Like, when I was talking about doing Airbnb, people listen to me like, oh, yeah, okay. Then when I started doing it, now they're knocking at my door. They're like, hey, you know what I mean? So it's like, people have to see. People only follow what they can truly see, or touch, or feel. That's really it is, man. That's what they follow.
That's real talk.
Straight up. Or if you have a good mouthpiece, they'll just follow anything.
There's a million gurus out there, right? That ain't done shish kebabs. And so, yeah, man, that's it. I don't know. We just rambled on the show. We talked about stuff. And, yeah.
But no, man. But what I wanted to say, like, if you, like, the people that don't do the Airbnb or don't, just create a hustle. And once people see that hustle works, they'll follow you. And they're going to build, that's going to build a network of people, wealth, all types of stuff for you. That's going to build a bunch of stuff around you. I'm telling you. Like, this journey, like the last 7 months that I've been off work, I was able to build a huge network of people. Huge. It's been truly awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool. And to bring it all the way back full circle, we brought up HGTV in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So, reality TV, you know, it ain't so real, but everybody knows that. But then they kind of think, you know, they just want to fall into it and believe it and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And so, our baby's asleep. And so yeah, it was a cool experience. And it's funny, it's 3 days shooting, right? Mm-hmm. I just want to let people know, 3 days shooting, 7 a.m. to like 6 p.m. for 3 days straight. And at the end of it all, you get about
15 minutes?
Maybe not even 15 minutes. The show is actually 15 minutes without commercials, right? Or 15, 20 minutes without commercials. Ooh. So probably about 5 to 10 minutes of us actually talking out of 3 days of shooting. So.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
It was fun. And it was cool showing people that. So if y'all get to check out the episode, Island Life, season 13, right? Episode 1. Okay, here goes my wife.
Hi everybody.
Snoopita.
Okay, it's I think it's season 13, and if you have this link, it's the episode 1. But I don't know if you have another cable provider. It's different, and it's no sponsor. I say the name of the company that we have the cable. So no sponsor.
No sponsor.
And yeah, you can check it out. Or also, if you want,
we'll put it on the Live Let Thrive link.
Yeah.
Matter
of fact, we'll put it on the website.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I recorded with my phone, so I would pass to the guys, and they will put it in the Live Let Thrive website, so you can check it out.
And I just want to remind people that the camera adds 50 pounds. All right, I'm just letting people know that right now.
Yes. And also, I just had a baby, so that's why.
There you go. So, yeah, check us out on HGTV. It's a trip. It's funny. You'll laugh, you know, because I'm a funny guy. So, there you go.
Definitely check it out, man. We are living, letting, thriving, and taking off. We got HGTV specials up in here, man.
Yeah. And hit us up, you know. This episode is what it is. You know, we just out there venting and saying how our lives are going. That's cool. We get one of those episodes every 1 or 2 episodes. But you have any questions, hit us up. We'd love to hear from you. You know, liveletthrive.com, liveletthrive@gmail.com. I always put my personal phone number and information on the show notes. So check out the show notes and hit us up, hit me up, hit Myka up. You know, just, you know, Myka charges money, but that's cool.
Charges money, yeah, I do.
Well, he'll answer a few, you know, freebies. He'll answer a few freebies.
Yeah, depends on the situation. I answer a few freebies.
Or his VR will. But anyways, we love doing the show. We love y'all's fan feedback. It's like keeping us going. Anything to add, Myka?
Definitely, man. Just, thanks for all the feedback, for one. I didn't know who gave us a 2-star review. I didn't even know about that until Steve just told me. No, but no, man, you know, it is, you know, different, what is it? Different strokes for different folks, you know. So, hey, it is what it is. But definitely thanks for everybody for listening. Keep living, keep letting, keep thriving. And go get you an arbitrage. Get you an Airbnb. Go talk to a landlord. Go get your hustle on.
Yeah, rent a bedroom out of your house. Just start.
Rent your hoopty on Turo if you want to, you know.
All right. Well, thank you all for listening, and good night.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of Live, Let, Thrive. Be sure to tune in next week for all the latest in the world of Airbnb and all that entails. Bye-bye.